Magandang umaga, Pilipinas. Ngayon po ay Lunes, ikalawang araw sa buwan ng Setyembre 2019. Narito na ang mga balitang pumapagaspas. Ang panig ng Pilipinas. Ako po si Nelson Lubao. Ito ang Agila, Pilipinas. Sa ulo muna ng mga balita. Eroplano bumagsak sa Calamba City, Laguna. 9 katao patay. 120 bahay sa Pagadian City, Zamboanga del Sur nasunog. At eksklusibo motorista binaril ang kasalubong na kotse sa North Luzon Expressway. At Neon Fun Run isinagawa sa San Nicolas, Ilocos Norte. Sinasagawa po ngayon ng Senado ang pagdinig ukol sa maagang pagpapalaya ng mga preso kaugnay sa conduct time allowance. Naroon po si Mean Corbera para sa detalye. Mean.
Nelson, nagsimula na nga ang pagdinig ng Senado sa kontrobersyal na pagpapalaya ng Bureau of Corrections sa mga nakatulang bilanggo na nahaharap sa mga heinous crime batay sa Republic Act 10592 o Good Conduct Time Allowance Law. Ayon kanina kay Senator Richard Gordon, ang chairman ng Blue Ribbon Committee, malaking bukol ito sa publiko dahil tila daw itinulad niya sa Peace in the Night ang ginawang desisyon ng Bucor na pinalaya partikular na yung mga sangkot sa heinous crime kabilang ng 4 na Chinese nationals na pawang drug lords na na-convict dito sa Pilipinas. Narito ang bahagi ng pagdinig ng Senado.
Teaching and mentoring, and there's also a stall for the special time allowance for loyalty. But what is very clear in here is that the process they use was never changed, and the application of GCTA was never changed since 2004 up to this day. In the succeeding slides later on, you can notice that not a single PDL who has committed a heinous crime has been denied in whole of good conduct time allowance. Now, it was also briefed, and they all the members of those who have crafted here unanimously agreed that their interpretation of good conduct time allowance, it can only be suspended during the month that the infraction was committed. In the succeeding month that they behave well, the granting of good conduct time allowance will now resume regardless of the gravity of this offense. So that is how they've been applying it. That's why even grave offenses like drugs confiscated inside their cells, they are only penalized for 1 month. And the succeeding month, they will now enjoy another good conduct time allowance. This has been their application since 2014 up to this day, based on this manual. That's why, if you can see, there is a continuous releases through granting of GCTA to even heinous crime offenders because of their current interpretation of the Section 10 of Republic Act 10592, which grants, based on Penal Code number 97, which grants GCTA to all convicts regardless of the nature of their offense. In first 4 months of the application of prospective application of this law, you can see that there were already 194 up to 2016 convicted of rape that were released because they were granted prospectively of GCTA. In the old GCTA, the number of days they earn is small, but in the new law, it was adjusted to the first 2 years to 20 days, 3 years to 5 years, it becomes 23, and then from 5 years to 10 years, it becomes 25, and on the 11th year, and so forth, it becomes 30 years. And when they also engage, 30 days, so every 1 month of
Excuse me.
Yes, sir.
I would like to hear the view of the Secretary of Justice on the matter of heinous crimes. Because I read something in the paper that you have a contrary view. Can you please elucidate?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. What the Chief of the Bureau of Corrections said seems to be the prevailing rule before public outrage happened in the case of Mayor Sanchez. So up to that point, it was technically a possibility that he may actually enjoy the benefit of the GCTA law, precisely because of the interpretation given since 2014 to that provision that, more particularly Section 3 of Republic Act number 10592, which says that sentenced prisoners or convicted prisoners will or can avail of the benefits of good conduct time allowance as follows, without making an express qualification as to whether or not these sentenced prisoners are guilty of heinous crimes or not. So that seems to have been the basis for the practice since 2014 on the matter of granting GCTAs, regardless of the crimes committed. Now, we had an opportunity to review the provisions of this law enacted in 2013 because of the public outcry. And we thank that this incident happened because it proved to be a blessing in disguise. We, at the Department of Justice, reviewed the law even more carefully and tried to harmonize the various provisions that seem to be not consistent with each other. In Section 1 of that law, Mr. Chairman, which pertains solely to the grant of time credit for preventive imprisonment. All right, so that was the subject of Section 1. Grant of time credit for preventive imprisonment. What are we referring to when we say preventive imprisonment? Those who are detained while charges are pending in court before them during trial. All right, so that may be credited against them, the actual time that they were preventively imprisoned.
Excuse me, and the reason for that is marami talagang nakakulong under preventive imprisonment na naabutan nila yung maximum sentence na ibibigay ng batas dahil mabagal ang korte. Di ba tama yun?
That is correct.
So yan talaga ang unang pakay nitong batas na ito. Ang problema ngayon, tatawid tayo, naghalo na pati doon sa convicted prisoners. Tama po ba yan?
Tama po yun, because in that same provision, Mr. Chairman, on preventive imprisonment, there was a line inserted that says that habitual delinquents, escapees, recidivists, and those charged with heinous crimes are not covered by the provisions of this Act. So there is one sweeping statement found in a section that pertains solely to preventive imprisonment. Had it been a sole provision by itself, one entire section stand alone that says that habitual delinquents, recidivists, escapees, and persons convicted of heinous crimes or charged with heinous crimes are not covered by the benefits under this Act, then probably there would be no confusion. However, we at the Department of Justice tried to harmonize Section 1 with Section 3. And if we think, as you correctly pointed out earlier, Mr. Chairman, that if a person merely charged with heinous crime is already not given the benefit of preventive imprisonment, and he's just being charged, what more if that person has already been convicted of a heinous crime? So we
Of absurdity, right? Yung mga batas dapat basahin in a manner that avoids absurdity or unreasonableness.
exactly, we apply also that
Yes, sir.
particular provision or statutory construction rule, Mr. Chairman. So we came up with this conclusion, after very serious and careful study, that the proper interpretation of that law, insofar as the exclusions are concerned, would be to exclude those convicted of heinous crimes from the benefit of the good conduct time allowance law.
That is the position now of the Secretary.
That is the present position of the DOJ under my administration,
Thank you.
Mr. Gordon.
Please proceed, Mr. Feldon.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So, with the current position of the Secretary, that is already now being adopted by the entire Bureau. That's why we are conducting this review of the manuals and a possible review of the other existing guidelines that we are using until such time that this has been resolved. But again, until the pronouncement of the Secretary, the procedure applied by the Bureau of Corrections since 2014 up to that day was that they included
With the permission of my colleagues here. Also, yung pag-review nyo ng good conduct, malabo eh. Hindi nag-uniform yan si Sanchez. May sarili siyang kwarto. Tatlo ang pilos. May sarili siyang mga aparador. May telepono siya, may TV siya. Infractional, violation na rules yan. Ano ba ang ginamit nyo doon sa good conduct kinocompute nyo? Yun ang isang rason kung bakit tumataas ang kilay at galit ang tao dahil alam na napakalaki ng ginawa niyang kasalanan sa tao sa pag-rape at pagpatay at ilang beses siya pumapatay ng tao pagkatapos biglang good conduct, mabubura lahat yun. Ano bang klase ba siya sinasabi natin?
I perfectly agree with the observation of the chair, sir. That's why I stopped the processing of his
Paliwanag nyo nga yung good conduct habang nagpipresenta kayo. Paano nyo ginawa yung good conduct doon sa mga yan?
May I request the Honorable Chair to allow me to pass in to the expert?
Pakibilisan mo lang. Pakibilisan mo. Bakit expert? Di ba ikaw expert? We don't do this by agency.
Now,
You are the
I would like to-
you are the chairman. You are the Director General of the Bureau. Iba yung title mo, Director General.
yes, sir. I was explaining that a while ago, sir, so I will continue, sir. So, the granting of GCTA is based on the good conduct described under this manual. And good conduct means that they have not violated any of these 49 infractions enumerated here, and then they participated in any of the 6 reformation programs. These are sports, studies, religion, and others. So when they officially entered into those 6 activities and they did not violate any of these provisions, then they are considered good conduct for that month. And
Alutiwera, kasi hindi nahuli ni Senate President kanina yan eh. Ang inyong analysis, a good conduct for that month alone? Sa buwan na yun? Sa isang buwan lang?
the manual says that awarding of good conduct is per month, sir. And when you violate some prison rules, you will only be denied of good conduct during that month only, sir. That is what the manual is.
Sino ba gumawa ng manual? Kayo?
It's a joint committee between the DOJ and the ILG, done previously before.
Sino yun? Sino gumawa?
I would like
Para
to point,
matawag rin namin yan.
I would like to point out one of the undersecretaries before, who is, I think, one of the former USEC for sale, sir.
Juana po ang ano, mama po. Salamat po, ma'am.
Good.
Yes, good morning, Your Honors. Yes,
Be brief. Listen nyo lang agad.
yes, during the time of then Secretary Gire and the then OIC of the ALG, they formed
Can you speak to the microphone?
a committee wherein to have an operational manual of the implementing rules and regulations. So the idea of the operational manual is to harmonize the different approaches being implemented by the various government agencies.
No, ang tanong ko, simple lang.
Yes.
Kayo ang gumawa 1 month lang?
Yes, so that's
ang
in the law, Your
good
Honor.
conduct?
That's in the law, Your Honor.
Naka-apply imprisonment dyan, 1 month lang ang sasabihin nyo, lalabas na?
Because the law said the GCT is given each month. 30 days each month for you have to meet if you have in prison for more than 11 years. It does not say not more than 30 months, it just say 30 months each month.
Ano?
It's in the law. It's in Republic Act 592.
Di ba dapat the Secretary of Justice should make those corrections before it even gets out of hand?
Precisely, Mr. Chair, that's the reason why the Department of Justice and the Department of the Interior and Local Government recently came up with a joint department order for the creation of a joint committee to review the implementing rules and regulations.
Ngayon na lang, sir, ngayon na lang. Pero
Ngayon na lang.
for that matter, hindi ba dapat kung nalalaman na mga ibang miyembro ng Bucor o ng BJMP na mali yan, mukhang hindi tama, dapat sinabi na sa inyo para you can lobby in Congress so that we could have amended this law. Would that be correct?
That could have been done, Mr. Chair.
In other words, leaders within the government should be able to spot, may mali itong law na ito, bakit namin kukunin ng 1 month? Samantalang, ito ay life imprisonment, paano mo palalabasin yan? But anyway, please proceed, Mr. Feldon, para mabilis na tayo, para makapagtanong na. Init na si Senator Gilon.
Yes, sir. That's why up to the time that the Supreme Court came out with the retroactive application of Republic Act 592 to retroactively apply to all prisoners, we announced the possible release of more or less 11,000 PDLs because they may benefit from the retroactive application of the law. And we announced it also that that includes all those who have committed heinous crimes, including Mayor Sanchez. And then in July 20, several recommendations for release arrived into my office. And then one of the draft, the recommendation for release is Antonio Sanchez. Now, prior to that date, I have been discussing how we can legally stop the release of Mayor Sanchez, because I know that, because I'm not a lawyer, so I know that he may have done a lot of infractions because of those, I saw on television some of those drugs that were found in his room, I think twice, and then yung kanyang kubol. But the explanation to me by the legal officers is that the manual says that it is only during that month that those violations were done that the GCTA can be deducted from him. But for the rest of the months that there are no infractions, GCTA will continue to be granted to any PDL.
Okay, ano ba?
For continuously, almost 1 week, I contested that why are we releasing prisoners like Sanchez? But because that is the law, that is their explanation to me.
I will just have one question. Do you have minutes of these meetings?
Yes, Your Honor.
Of the discussions in every meeting when you were drafting the these rules and regulation, or when you were passing on the good conduct of prisoners? Do you have minutes? Answer the question, yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Oh.
Sila, sir.
Because
Because
you bring all those minutes here, particularly on the matter of the NBD, 4 Chinese and all the others with heinous crimes. I would like, and the committee would like to see what sort of discussion occurred.
we will, Your Honor.
And by the way, who appointed all the people? Ikaw lang ang pipirma eh. Bureau Correctional lang ang pipirma. In the case of PJMP, siya lang ang pipirma eh. Di ba dapat common sense, alam nyo na iikaw ang ma-hot seat dyan. Dapat nag-iingat ka, di ba?
Yes, Your Honor. I rely on the expertise of those who have even participated in the
But why should
passing
you
of the
be,
law.
therefore, director of prisons when you have to rely on others? Why don't we just appoint the person you're relying on? Because when you are there, ikaw ang in charge.
Yes, Your
Pagkaharap
Honor.
ka rito, ikaw ang in charge.
Yes, Your Honor. So the due diligence I've been doing is to ask them personally, ask them the implication of this law and to these people that are supposed to be. And then they could, in fact, the lawyer beside me says that if you release these PDLs with heinous crime through GCTA, there can never be a case filed against you because it's legal. But if you hold them, then there may be a case against you. They came to that point of convincing me that releasing them is the legal way of doing it, Your Honor.
Nakikinig ako sa'yo, pero with the permission of my colleagues, ito, bibilis ako na ito para mabilis na. Isa lang. 9 life imprisonment cases yan, dapat death, binabayan. Tinanggal natin ang death penalty. Hindi ka nagugulat na bibigyan mo ng good conduct yan?
Ako sir, personally, hindi talaga dapat.
Ha?
Personally sir, hindi dapat. May
Hindi dapat.
personal
Pero
views,
yung
hindi
mga
dapat
bata,
bigyan.
sinasabi, alam mo. Ikaw ba'y pumirma doon sa kanilang order na i-release yan?
There is no order yet to release, Your Honor. There is a, as far as the ex-mayor is concerned, there is a memorandum of release recommended for his release.
By whom?
Recommended to me from through channel up to the Deputy Director General for Operations, and it reaches my office.
But the buck stops with you. Did you sign that order or not?
I did not sign the order to officially release Sanchez.
Bakit sinasabi ng mga bata, nung tinawag sila, pagdating doon, kinocongratulate na sila ng lahat ng mga tao doon sa Bureau of Prisons. At sinabi pa sa iyo, akala namin, Director, sir, pinayagan nyo na. In fact, naganda na yung mga bata, dadalhin sa Japanese restaurant yung kanilang tatay, dadalhin sa eye doctor.
There was never a completed release order of ex-mayor Sanchez, sir. There was never an official release order.
Was he fingerprinted?
None, sir.
I was told that he was fingerprinted. Remember, you're on the road.
Yes, sir. I checked that. We checked that yesterday. If he was fingerprinted, he was not, sir.
Pabilis ako.
Yes, sir. But I signed a memorandum order that is the signal to process all the papers. But that is after I have continuously consulted with the lawyers. Why are we signing this? Now, few minutes after
as
that,
long as you want, but
Yes,
you
sir.
sign the memorandum order to start the process. Is that correct?
I stopped the process, sir.
So, pumayag ka, start the process. Alam mo na nangingi ng permiso yan for executive clemency 6 months before. Alam mo na dinayan. Tama po ba yan?
I don't know if that.
How can you not know? Bureau of Pardons and Parole yan. Di ba kayo nagkukonsultahan? Alam mo, dinayan. Ngayon, nag-a-apply siya sa iyo. Papayagan niyo, ipapaprocess mo. Di mo alam yun? Come on. You're a Marine. A captain.
Sir, the application of the law, sir, does not, that is the explanation to me, does not distinguish up to the time that the Secretary says.
No, but there is such a thing as your own judgment.
Exactly, sir. That,
Especially, halimbawa dito sa mga drug pushers na pinawalan. Ikaw ba rin ang pumirma niyan? Siyempre, ikaw.
exactly, sir. That's why I stopped the process of release of PDL Sanchez, because I believe he is not entitled.
You were appointed by the President known for his battle against drugs, for his war against drugs. You were appointed as Customs Commissioner. Then you were appointed as Undersecretary do sa Civil Defense ba yun? And then you were appointed another opportunity for you to run the Bureau of Prisons. In spite of your record na hindi ka nag-a-abide, doon sa kudeta ka, tumakas ka, nung hinuhuli ka, yan ang record mo. Ang laki ng tiwala sa iyo ng Pangulong Duterte. Hindi ba tumalikod ka sa tiwala sa iyo ni President Duterte na papalayain mo itong mga drug pushers na ito? Papadala mo sa immigration, ikaw ang pumirma? Kahit sabihin mo pang nungusulto ka, the buck stops with you.
Yes, Your Honor. I would appreciate if I would have a discretion to not follow the rules. But as we look at the data, sir, since 2004 up to 2016, there are already 105 drug pushers that were released to GCPA.
But that is your call, di ba? Lahat yan dumaan sa iyo.
I would
Hindi
like...
ko ba halimbawa kung may remorse itong si Mayor Sanchez? Nababasa ko, wala siyang remorse eh. In fact, sinasabi niya hanggang ngayon, hindi siya. Sinasabi niya yung si Kit Alquesa. Tinignan mo ba kung nagbayad na siya ng civil damages sa mga magulang, sa mga pamilya nito napatay niya, at saka yung court cost, tinignan mo ba yan? Now, pag tinignan mo lahat siya, at sasabihin mo, yan eh, hindi ko call yan eh, nasa batas yan eh. Then, taw-tawuhan ka dyan. Di ba? Wala kang discretion, wala kang man lang sabihin na napakadelikado na situation na hindi lang para sa iyo, but sa susunod pa, Director ng Bureau of Prisons, kayo lang ang magdi-decide. Lalampasan nyo yung sinabi ng husgado, lalo pa sa inyo yung Bureau of Pardons and Parole, lalo pa sa inyo, under the Constitution, Presidente lang ang pwede magbigay ng parole, magpatawad, pero ikaw ngayon, ang tanging tao lamang na magpapalaya, magpuputol ng sentensya. Dapat nag-iingat ka. Tama ba yun?
Yes, Your Honor. The discretion was removed by this manual, Your Honor.
That manual is man-made by a commission that you created or by the DILG and DOJ, correct? And by the way, Mr. Orseo, you are undersecretary. Wala sa batas yung sinasabi mo. Nasa manual yun. Ano? Saan?
Actually, it's in Section 97 of the Philippines Penal Code, but this was amended by Section 3 of RA
Sabi mo sa akin.
592.
Andito yung mata. Papakita natin yan. By the way, Senator Subiri is also here. Basahin mo.
Yes, I have these annexes here.
Manual yung binabasa mo. Nandun sa manual pero wala sa batas yan.
It's in the annexes, Your Honor. It's part of the annexes
Annexes?
of this manual. The law is part of this annexes, Your Honor.
Saan? It only speaks of we shall be allowed a deduction of 30 days during 11 successive years for each month of good behavior during detention. But that doesn't mean that you're giving him 1 month lang yung kanyang titingnan. Ang layo nun. Ito for computing lang the deduction. Pero 1 month para sabihin mo, pwede ka na?
Your Honor, when the committee decided on whether to give the full credit of, say, 30 days, we debated on whether to give that CDL a full credit for each violation or nothing at all.
And look at where we are now because you gave full credit. Look at where we are now. There is now ang laki-laking lamat ng batas ngayon sa atin. Kawawa yung mga taong pinatay, yung mga pamilya nila. Did you ever consider that for one moment?
Yes, Your Honor.
You did.
Yes.
And you were willing to sacrifice na nahirapan na yung mga tao.
It's discretion to interpret the law otherwise because the law said 30 days per month.
Can you read the law first? Kaya naman tayo nag-aral, di ba?
Yes, Your Honor.
Oh, during the 11th and successive years of his imprisonment, he shall be allowed a deduction of 30 days for each month of good behavior during the indictment. Sinasabi lang yun, dinideduct mo 30 days of good behavior.
Your Honor.
Pero pagpapalabasin mo, kailangan tignan mo yung buong taon.
Yes,
Lahat ng
Your Honor.
kanyang pinagsilbihan.
Yes, Your Honor.
And by the way, can you put out the rules ang sinagay dyan sa manual, rules niya, nakalagay dyan, hindi naka-uniforme. Pakita niyo yung litrato ni Sanchez na nakakulong, walang uniforme. Violation yan. Pakita niyo yun, nahuli sa may TV. Violation yan. Paano yung magiging good conduct? Preso Caballero ang tawag dyan. Di ba totoo, Mr. Secretary of Justice, public knowledge yan. Pag pumasok ka, Mr. Peldon, pag pumasok ka, may mga naka-cellphone doon. Anong bayad dyan sa mga cellphone na yan? Ilan beses na ako pumasok yan, nakikita. Paano may cellphone ang mga tao rito? Nakakapag-concert. Kung ano lahat ang mga kumulo nila. Ay ano? Tingnan nyo, ilan ang pilo doon sa kama? Tatlo. Apat ba? Apat. O, tingnan nyo. Mayroong aparador yan. Buksan mo yan sa aparador. Andun lahat ang damit. Wala akong nakikita uniforme na kulay tangerine. Ba't pinapayagan nyo yan? Tapos papayagan nyo ng good conduct? Yan ba yung good conduct na tinatawag nyo?
That is the reason we stopped his release to review the granting of GCPA, sir.
You stop his release because sumabog na. Sumabog na sa tao, galit na galit ng tao. Editorialize sa mga dyaryo, hindi na kayo kaliwat kanan, which is very unfair because of the implementation of the law. That's where he got killed, right? So implementation. Anyway, I will let Senator Dillon do the one. You know, there's a bad habit here. The Senate President thinks he's the king of the road. Minority floor leader, Illinois.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman, for calling me first. I was the first to arrive. Mr. Chairman,
Called age before beauty.
yes. Mr. Chairman, before I ask a few questions, let me first welcome Mrs. Maria Clara Sarmienta and her husband Roberto and Mrs. Iluminada Gomez. The last time we saw each other was in March of 1995 when we attended the promulgation of the decision of then RTC Judge Harriet De Matthew, where the then Mayor Sanchez was sentenced to 7 life terms. And at that time, we felt that justice was rendered. And today, after 25 years, or 24 years to be exact, we meet again hoping that an injustice is not committed because of the erroneous and malevolent recomputation of this good conduct time allowance. Mr. Chairman, we are here today in exercise of our oversight functions in order to review the implementation of Republic Act 10592 or the Good Conduct Time Allowance. And the first question that I will raise, Mr. Chairman, is Republic Act 10575, which is the Bureau of Corrections Act of 2015. Is it correct to say that under Section 8 of this law, the Secretary or the Department of Justice shall retain authority over the power to review, reverse, revise, or modify the decisions of the Bucor in the exercise of its regulatory and quasi-judicial functions. Is that a correct recollection of the law? Yes, Secretary Guevara.
That is exactly what that provision states, Mr. Senator.
So that you retain your right under the law expressly to review, reverse, modify, revise the decisions of the Bucor Director.
Only for regulatory and quasi-judicial functions performed by the Bucor. Otherwise, the DOJ exercises general administrative supervision.
And in the allowance for good time time allowance for good conduct, that is in exercise of quasi-judicial functions because you apply the facts to the law.
So that is debatable, Senator Drilon. I am not ready to concede that the grant of GCTA is a quasi-judicial function.
All right. That is, okay, we can debate on that later. But because of the Bureau of Corrections Act of 2013, do you recall Department Order 953? 953 issued by dated November 26, 2015.
We stumbled upon that department order when we were carefully reviewing the meaning of the GCTA law.
Okay.
Mr. Drilon.
So, and if for the record, the release of all national prisoners with expired sentence shall be approved only by the Director General of the Bureau of Corrections. At least that's what the first paragraph says. Is that correct?
Exactly, Senator.
But in the second paragraph, and let me read it for emphasis, the authority of the Director General of the Bureau of Corrections to release national prisoners shall not apply to prisoners inmates sentenced to life imprisonment or reclusion perpetua or high-risk inmates whose release due to expired sentences shall only be implemented upon the prior approval of the Secretary of Justice. Do you recall that? Is that a correct reflection of paragraph 2?
That is exactly the provision of paragraph 2 of Department Order number 953 issued on 25 November 2015.
In other words, in so far as life-termers are concerned, including Mayor Antonio Sanchez, including those convicted of the murder of the Chong sisters, they cannot be released without the approval of the Secretary of Justice. Is that correct under this department order?
Unless this department order number 953 has been modified or recalled or revoked, that seems to be the prevailing rule.
Yes. That is in fact provided clearly under paragraph 2 of the department order.
Yes, Honorable.
Now, question. In the case of Mayor Antonio Sanchez, was your approval sought?
No such request for approval has been received by the Department of Justice.
In all the releases under the 1,914 releases done in cases of convicts with who avail of the good conduct time allowance, was the approval of the Secretary of Justice ever secured, at least during your time?
Since I assumed the position of SOJ in April of last year, I recall having received only a few.
Sorry?
Only a few requests for approval for the release of certain PDLs, but this is not in connection with good conduct time allowance, but in connection with what the Bureau calls STAL. STAL is Special Time Allowance for Loyalty. And that is given on the occasion, for example, of a catastrophe or something like a fire or a typhoon, where the inmates had the opportunity to escape, but they did not escape, or having fled, let's say, the jail or the prison because of the conditions, they returned within 48 hours. They would be entitled to such special time allowance for loyalty. And I remember on 2 occasions, we received requests for approval in connection with the Leyte Regional Prison for 2 special incidents. One is on account of Typhoon Yolanda, and another on the occasion of a fire which happened in the prison, in the regional prison in Leyte. Other than those 2 major requests for approval, I would not remember any other request for approval in the case of persons specifically convicted of heinous crimes.
Yes. So that you do not recall approving any request for release pursuant to the good conduct time allowance law, specifically in the case of those who were convicted of heinous crimes, and other than those 2 or 3 that you mentioned. Is that correct, sir?
I would not be able to say categorically, but generally speaking, if there were such submissions to the DOJ, I would certainly remember them.
Yes, so you don't remember them?
As far as I could not recall any other.
There were, from our computation since July 1, 2016, if there were 1,914 releases for heinous crimes prior to 2016, 1,469 were released since June of 2016 or July 1 of 2000.
Pabalikan po natin mamaya ang hearing na yan sa Senado. Samantala sa iba pang balita, isang eroplano ang bumagsak at sumabog sa isang resort sa Calamba City sa Laguna. Kinumpirma ng Laguna Police Provincial Office na 9 na pasahero ang patay habang nasa 2 sugatan sa nasunog na bahay. Si Ronaldo Duran sa detalye.
Makikita sa cellphone video ang umuusok na eroplano na lumilipad sa bahagi ng bundok na Mount Makiling. Bigla itong bumulusok pababa at sumabog na lumika ng maitim at makapal na usok. Lumika din ito na isang malaking sunog sa isang resort na binaksakan ito sa Miramonte Subdivision sa Barangay Pansol sa Calamba City, Laguna. Agad naman na rumisponde ang mga miyembro ng Bureau of Fire Protection, Public Order and Safety Office at iba't ibang medical personnel upang i-rescue ang mga biktima at maapula agad ang nasusunog na bahay. Ayon sa PNP Calamba, alas 3 ng hapon, isang medical evacuation plane na may 9 na pasahero ang bumagsak sa nabanggit na lugar sa hindi pa malamang kadahilanan. Sugatan naman ang mag-ina at katiwala ng resort na kinilalang si Malu Roca, 40 anyos, at John Ray Roca, 19 anyos, na agad dinala sa pinakamalapit na pagamutan dahil sa tinamong mga paso sa katawan na sa kasalukuyan ay nasa maayos ng kalagayan at nagpapagaling sa isang pribadong ospital. Alas 8 ng gabi, nang kumpirmahin ng mga otoridad na nasawi lahat ang 9 na pasahero na nangsabing eroplano. Ang kanilang mga pangalan ay naka-flash sa inyong TV screen. Ang medical evacuation plane ay galing ng Dipolog City nang kaunin ang isang pasyente na banyaga at pabalik na sa Manila nang mangyari ang trahedya. Dumating sa crash site ang mga pamilya ng banyaga na sawi upang kilalanin ang kanilang kaanak. Dinala ang mga labi ng mga nasawi sa punerarya para sa karagdagang otopsiya. Patuloy naman ang sinasawang investigasyon ng mga otoridad sa malagim na trahedya. Mula sa Calamba City, Laguna, para sa Eagle News, Ronaldo Duran, IM1 with 25.
At kaugnay po niyan, tiniyak naman ng Lion Air na may-ari ng bumagsak na eroplano sa Calamba City, Laguna na sasagutin nito ang funeral expenses at pagpapagamot ng mga biktima ng insidente. Sa ngayon, nakatutok niya ang kumpanya sa proseso ng paghahatid sa mga biktima sa kanilang mga mahal sa buhay. Nakahanda rin umano ito na makipagtulungan sa gagawing investigasyon ng mga otoridad hinggil sa pagbagsak ng nasabing eroplano. Sa latest report, umakyat na sa 9 katao ang permadong nasawi at 2 ang nasugatan. Umabot naman sa 120 mga bahay ang natupok ng apoy sa sunog sa barangay Dumagok, Pagadian City, Zamboanga del Sur. Report mula kay Eric Bachiller.
Sa kasabihang mabuti pa ang manakawan kaysa masunugan, yan ang sinapit ng mga residente sa Purok Kahayag, Barangay Dumagok, Pagadian City, kung saan natupok ng apoy ang kanilang matagal ng pinag-iipunang bahay at kagamitan. Dakong alas 12 ng tanghali, nagsimula umano ang apoy sa isang bahay kung saan tumawid pa sa kabilang kalsada na nagresulta ng 120 kabahayan ang nadamay sa sunog. Sa investigasyon at ulat ng Bureau of Fire Protection, nagsimula umano ang apoy sa bahay ng isang Odi Goles na isang mangingisda. Ayon pa sa anak na si Rose Vic Goles na siyang tanging naiwan lamang noong panahon yon nung maganap ang insidente, ay nagsimula ang apoy sa kwarto ng kanyang kapatid na babae na nakapadlak. Halos gawa sa light materials ang mga kabahayan at malakas ang hangin kaya agad kumalat ang apoy. Kaya nagtulong-tulong na din ang mga residente sa pag-apula ng apoy, pati mga kagamitan nila ay kanya-kanya din ang hakot. Narespondihan naman agad ng bumbero ang nasabing sunog, pati ang mga fire truck ng Karatig Munisipyo. Sa sikip ng daan ay tumagal ng 2 oras bago ito idineklarang fire out. Nasa 145 ang mga pamilya ang nawala ng kabahayan at tinatayang nasa mahigit 800,000 piso ang pinsala sa nangyaring sunog. Patuloy pang inaalam ng otoridad kung ano talaga ang dahilan sa nangyaring insidente. Mula dito sa Zamboanga del Sur para sa Eagle News, Eric Bachiller, IM1 with 25.
At relief operation sa mga nasunugang residente sa Dumagok, ipinagkaloob sa Pagadian City, Zamboanga del Sur. At narito ang follow-up ni Eric Bachiller.
Isang relief operation ang ipinagkaloob sa mga nasunugan noong nakarang araw sa tulong ng iba't ibang organisasyon at sa mga ahensya ng gobyerno dito sa Pagadian City, Zamboanga del Sur. Sa pakikipag-isa ng DSWD, CDRRMO, LGU, mga konsehalyas na pinangunahan ng mismong alkalde na si Mayor Samico kasama ang kanyang may bahay, ay nabigyan ng tulong ang mga nasunugan ng mga kagamitang pambahay na maaari nilang magamit pansamantala. Kabilang din sa ipinamahaging tulong ay ang pack lunch, mga grocery grocery at bigas, bagay naman na ikinatuwa ng marami. Matatandaan sa nangyaring sunog noong Biyernes ay umabot ito ng 120 na bahay ang natupok ng apoy na mayroong 148 na pamilya. Sa ngayon ay pansamantalang nasa Balangasan Covered Court nakatira ang mga nasunugang residente habang ang iba naman ay sa kanilang kamag-anak. Ngunit patuloy naman itong humingi ng tulong sa gobyerno. Mula dito sa Zamboanga del Sur para sa Eagle News, Eric Bachiller, IM1 V25.
Samantala, binaril ng kapwa motorista ang isang kotse sa North Luzon Expressway. At ito po'y dahil lang sa paglipat ng linya sa kalsada. Ang biktima ay mabuti lang at hindi nasaktan matapos paputukan. Si Erlo Bringas sa detalye. Exclusive.
Kuha ang dashcam video na ito noong August 30 alas 7 ng umaga sa North Luzon Expressway. Makikita na ang kotseng nagmamay-ari sa dashcam ay relax lamang ang takbo nito sa kalsada. Pagdating sa Marilao exit, lumipat ng fast lane ng kotse. Pero maya-maya pa, bigla itong binusinaan ng malakas ng sinundan nitong puting SUV. Ilang segundo pa lumipas, makikitang sinusundan na ng puting SUV ang kotse na nagmamay-ari sa dashcam. Bigla na lamang itong nagpakawala ng 2 putok ng baril sa kotse ng suspect. Matapos ito, lumayo na ito sa kotse.
Tama naman yung takbo ko. Sa may signal. Nung dumating ako sa may bandang Petron area, sa may Marilao, medyo bumagal yung traffic. Sumignal ako. Nakita ko yung Ford na puti, SUV. Hindi nag-react dun sa signal light ko, kaya pumasok ako. Nakita ko agad siya na tinutukan niya ako ng baril. Nung time na yun, akala ko alis na siya. Sa part ko, okay na rin kasi nakita na sa dashcam yung plate number niya. Pumunta ako dun sa emergency lane after ng Marilao exit.
Hindi pa nakontento ang suspect. Tinabi nito ang kanyang sasakyan sa NLEX Emergency Bay para sana abangan ng biktima. Muling nagtapat sa lane ng kotse ng suspect at biktima at muli itong nagpakawala ng pangatlong putok ng baril. Agad na din kumaripas ng takbo ang suspect at nagtago naman sa kasunod na truck ang biktima para lituhin na ang kotse ng suspect. Nang makalayo ng suspect, huminto na siya sa gate ng Ciudad de Victoria Complex para makahingi ng tulong sa security guards doon.
Agad naman silang nakaradyo ng patrol. Agad din naman dumating yung mga NX patrol na nung nalaman nga nila yung incident, naradyo agad nila sa mga toll booth nila at binantayan nila kung hanggang dumating yung mga Marilao police. Tapos pala, nung time na yun, nung pagpunta ako sa shoulder lane, nag-attempt ako tumawag ng 911. Kaso, parang busy yung line. Hindi ko kasi memorize yung emergency line ng toll. Pero nag-attempt ako tumawag ng 911, humingi ng tulong. Yun na nga po, ang hinala nga po ng police at ng NLEX, nung time na nakapark ako sa arena, naka-exit agad sa may Bukaho exit.
Nakatunog na.
Nakatunog na siguro.
Sa ginawang verification ng Marilao Police, kinilala ang suspect na si Edward Garcia. Mabuti na lamang hindi mismo ang gulong ng kotse ng biktima ang tinamaan, kundi ibaba lamang ng pintuan sa passenger seat at kung nagkataon, mas matinding aksidente ang mangyayari sa biktima. Nakuha sa sasakyan ng biktima ang slag ng hindi patukoy na baril. Pinuntahan ng otoridad sa bahay nito sa Pasig ang suspect pero hindi ito inabutan doon. Sasampahan ng attempted homicide ang suspect at mahaharap pa sa iba't ibang mga kaso.
Ako sa daily drive ko, lalo na sa NLEX at EDSA, medyo stressful. Pero aminado naman ako ngayon na signal light ako lagi. Titignan muna kung bibigay yung ano. Tapos, pasensya lang. Kasi, lalo na ngayon, umuulan, busy lahat ng tao. Siyempre, yung patience lang din sila. Pero pag talagang di maiwasan uminit yung ulo, iwasan naman natin, mamaril ng kasi medyo iba na yun.
Para sa Eagle News, Erlo Bringas, IM1 with 25.
Samantala sa lagay naman ng panahon, patuloy na binabantayan ng pag-asang lumakas pang tropical depression na si Liwayway. Ayon sa pag-asa, huli itong namataan sa layong 450 kilometers east ng Daet, Camarines Norte o 325 east o northeast ng Birac, Catanduanes. Taglay po nito ang lakas ng hangin aabot sa 55 kilometers kada oras malapit sa gitna at may pagbugsong maabot sa 70 kilometers kada oras. Ito'y kumikilos ng hilagang kanluran sa bilis na 25 kilometers kada oras. Posible daw pong lumukas pa ito at maging tropical storm sa susunod na mga oras. Pero ngayong araw patuloy na hihilahin ng bagyong Liwayway ang southwest monsoon kaya maghahatid ng mahina hanggang katamtaman at kuminsan ay malakas na buhos ng ulan sa Bicol Region, Visayas, Northern Mindanao at Caraga. Mahina hanggang katamtaman at kuminsan ay malakas na buhos ng ulan din ang maranasan sa Zambales, Bataan, Occidental Mindoro at Palawan. Kusang giniba naman ng nasa 40 pamilya ang kanilang mga bahay sa barangay Kamaya sa Maribeles, Bataan. Kasunod po ito ng patuloy na clearing operation sa lahat ng illegal structures and construction sa mga lansangan. Ayon kay EBC correspondent Larry Biscocho, kasama sa giniba ang extension sa pamilihang bayan ng Maribeles na ilan sa mga may pwesto ay nakipagbatigasan pa at tumangging i-receive ang paunang sulat ng market office. Giniba na din ng mga residente sa barangay Baseco ang kanilang bahay. Nagbigay ng ultimatum si Maribeles Mayor Jocelyn Castañeda sa mga illegal structure at illegal vendor na nasa lansangan na hanggang September 15. Kaya muli itong nakikiusap sa mga tatamaan ng clearing operation sa mga susunod na sumunod para maiwasan ang anumang asunto o problema at ibalik na sa taong bayan ang kalsadang pinakinabangan na rin ng mga negosyante ng matagal na panahon. Nagpasalamat naman ang alkalde sa mga kababayan niya na agad sumunod at kusang nagdemolish ng kanilang bahay at makakatanggap ng financial assistance mula sa lokal na pamahalaan ang mga tinamaang bahay ng clearing operation. 6 katao naman ang patay, 4 ang sugatan matapos na bumulusok at masalpok ng isang truck ang ilang sasakyan. Ito po ay sa Sumulong Highway sa Antipolo. Ang driver ng truck ay pinaghahanap matapos tumakas. Si Erlo Bringas sa report.
Kuha ang dashcam video na ito sa Barangay Mambugat, Sumulong Highway, Antipolo City, Sabado ng hapon. Makikita ang banayad ang takbo ng mga sasakyan pero ilang saglit pa. Biglang sumulpot ang rumaragasang truck at tumawid ito sa pakurbang bahagi ng kalsada. Nagresulta ang insidente sa 6 na patay matapos madaganan din ng isang jeepney. Kwento ng isang kagawad sa lugar, nawala ng preno ang 10-wheeler truck na bumabaybay sa nasabing daan at nakaladkad itong jeep na nagmisulang pitpit na lata bago bumangga sa poste. Maituturing naman ng mga residente na accident-prone area ang lugar. Ayon sa Antipolo Police, natanggal umano ang trailer truck at bumagsak sa nasabing jeep. Kaya dito nadaganan ng mga pasahero. Nadamay din sa pagsalpok at pagtagilit ng truck ang 2 jeepney na nakaparada habang 4 naman ang naitalang sugatan. Pinaghahanap pa rin sa ngayon ang driver ng truck habang nagpapatuloy naman ang investigasyon. Nagpapagaling na ngayon sa ospital ang 4 na sugatan sa nasabing insidente. Para sa Eagle News, Erlo Bringas, I am 1 with 25.
Samantala, isinagawa ang Neon Fun Run sa San Nicolas, Ilocos Norte. Sa report ni EBC correspondent Ryan Simatu, ito'y pinangunahan ng SK Federation sa bayan ng San Nicolas bilang bahagi ng Linggo ng Kabataan 2019 at may temang Transforming Education. Nasa 100 kabataan ang nakilahok sa nasabing aktibidad. Nagmula sa iba't ibang barangay sa bayan ng San Nicolas at nakiisa rin ang ilang kabataan mula sa Lawag City at iba pang bayan naman sa lalawigan ng Ilocos Sur. Mga personal na gamit ng mga sundalo at cellphone isinauli ng may mga magagandang loob sa Pagadian City, Zamboanga del Sur. Alamin natin ang detalye sa report ni Eric Bachiller.
Isinuli ang mga importanteng kagamitan ng mga sundalo na si Staff Sergeant Rosalito Pelanio at Technical Sergeant Jerry Turaha na aktibong miyembro ng Philippine Army. Ito ay itinurn over sa kapulisan ni Reynaldo Tolomia, residente ng Purok Pagaypay, Kawit, Pagadian City. Kabilang sa itinurn over ni Reynaldo ay ang baril kasama ang mga magasin, bag, wallet, mga dokumento at mga ID. Ayon pa ni Ray, pagkalabas niya ng bahay ay sinabihan siya ng kanyang pamangkin na may bag di umano sa gilid ng kalsada na may lamang baril. Kaya agad niya itong kinuha at tiningnan kung sino ang may-ari. Agad naman niya itong dinala sa Pagadian PNP Station. Eksakto naman na nandun ang dalawang sundalo, kaya siya mismo ang nagsoli sa kagamitan, bagay na ipinagpapasalamat naman ng mga sundalo kay Ray. Samantala, isang cellphone naman ang napulot ng isang may magandang loob na sekretarya pa umano ng Barangay Napulan na sakop ng Pagadian City na isinoli din sa kapulisan at sa mismong may-ari nito. Sa Bayog naman sa parehong probinsya ay nagsoli ang isang nagngangalang Julito Humalon ng wallet na may lamang pera at ID na pagmamayari ni Charlie Enomar, isang miyembro ng PNP. Isa lang itong patunay na may mga kababayan pa rin tayo ang may busilak na kalooban sa tauhan ng mga nagsoli ng mga bagay na ikinatuwa naman ng mga may-ari nito. Mula dito sa Zamboanga del Sur para sa Eagle News, Eric Bachilier, I am 1 with 25.
Samantala sa layuning lalo pang mapalapit ang loob ng mga kabataan sa PNP at matuldukan ang recruitment ng mga bandido, nagsagawa ng feeding program at medical check-up ang PNP. Alamin natin sa report ni Richard De La Cruz.
Matagumpay na isinagawa ang feeding program at medical check-up sa Barangay Makasandig, Cagayan de Oro City. Sa pamumuno ni Major Ivan Binyas, tagapagsalita ng Cagayan de Oro City PNP at iba pang mga opisyal na nagmula pa sa Lanao del Norte, Bukidnon, Camiguin at iba pang lugar sa rehiyon. Nais ng grupong suportahan ng PNP Regional Office 10 sa pamumuno ni Brigadier General Rafael Santiago na lalong may lapit ang loob ng mga kabataan sa PNP at matuldukan na ang recruitment ng mga bandido, partikular na sa mga liblib na lugar at mga paaralan. Pagkatapos ng programa ay namigay ng pagkain ng mga pulis na lalong ikinatuwa ng mga bata. Kaya si Justin Bulyanday at kasama nito ay labis ang pasasalamat sa pulis at dahil inidulo nila ang PNP, paglaki nito ay nais niya ring maging pulis.
Salamat sa mga pulis ha. Dako ko mga pulis ko.
Kaya malaki ang pag-asa na masungkit ng PNP ang pangmatagalang kapayapaan sa Mindanao dahil sa suporta ng mga kabataan sa PNP na ang hinahangad ipadama ang pagmamahal ng Pangulo ng ating bansa. Mula dito sa Cagayan de Oro City, para sa Eagle News, Richard De La Cruz, ay amuan with 25.
At yan po mga balitang pumapagaspas sa mampanig ng Pilipinas. Hanggang sa muli, ito po ang Agila Pilipinas. Sa pangalan ng mga bumubuo ng Eagle News Service, ako po si Nelson Lubao. I'm 1 with 25.